Chapter 4, Mountains of Snow. Storms pick up moisture as they pass over lakes. Then they dump the moisture on areas near the lakes. Buffalo, New York is one of these lake effect cities. In a 1977 blizzard, snow drifted 30 feet high there. That's enough to bury trucks and entire houses. The drifts were so high that deer escaped from the zoo. They simply walked over the snow-covered fence. Buffalo residents shoveled up to 4 tons of snow per driveway. In January 1996, New York City streets was piled high. Cars were buried. There was no place left to put the snow. For days, dump trucks hauled snow out of the city. Giant snowdrifts don't just cause problems in cities. A farmer named Brad Olson almost got clobbered by one. A 1997 blizzard in Minnesota dumped 20 inches of heavy snow on his barn. Brad ran out of the barn seconds before the roof fell. If blizzard snow melts, floods may take more lives or ruin more property. Even if the snow doesn't melt, it creates a hazard on mountains. There, blizzards pile snow at steep angles. Picture a pile of flour on a cookie sheet. Lift one end of the sheet higher, bit by bit. At some point, the whole pile slides down, fast. Lots of snow sliding or falling down a slope is an avalanche. The snow can travel faster than a speeding train. Skiers, climbers, and others in the area can get buried. The next big blizzard. How can we know for sure when the next big blizzard will hit? Scientist Joe Cortinas asks that question every day, but he can't always answer it. Not even the biggest computer in the world can be 100% sure of the weather. John works at the National Severe Storms Laboratory in Oklahoma. He studies past storms for the clues that signal a storm is forming or changing. The clues might be a certain mix of temperatures, wind speed, air pressure, and humidity, which is wetness. Scientists at the National Weather Service look for similar clues in current weather. They study a computer weather map like the one at right. Then they enter all the data into a supercomputer. An hour or so later, the computer makes a forecast called a model. The model shows how weather is likely to change over time. For example, it might predict temperatures 12 hours into the future. Models aren't always right. In fact, models from 2 different computers can disagree. In January 1996, one computer model showed heavy snow heading for the northeast. Another called for light rain. It predicted the storm would stay at sea. Whether forecasters believe the model for heavy snow, they put out a winter storm warning, and they were right. How did the scientists know? The forecasters has to look at all the data, John says, not just the computer model. All the data includes models, radar images, and weather readings from around the world. John's research on past storms helps forecasters make sense of all this data on current storms. Does a certain radar pattern mean a storm is getting worse? How can we tell if a storm will suddenly change course? What happens when a storm moves from sea to land? The more answers that scientists find, the more certain forecasters can be. They can confidently say that a killer blizzard is or isn't on the way. Here are some blizzard tips. In cold weather, always wear a bright coat, 3 layers of clothes, mittens, boots, and a hat. Never go off alone. A blizzard, which means a storm, may form. A blizzard warning means a storm is on the way. In either case, stay inside. If you're stuck outside, stay in your car or find shelter. Put a bright object where rescuers might see it. Keep moving, clap your hands, jump up and down, and don't fall asleep. The end.